Hi, Sheila. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, it's a pleasure having me here today. Thank you.
So, you're going to be coming and having a stall at Awaken the Goddess on the 22nd of July 2017, and you're going to be selling something called Sizzling Minerals, which sounds very exciting. Can you tell me what they are?
Yes, Sizzling Minerals, which is produced, it's a UK company, Simply Naturals is the manufacturer, are minerals that are essential for health in a fizzy tablet form. We need at least 60 minerals for good health, but Sizzling Minerals contain 75, which really gives you optimum health. And I can tell you from my own experience, because I take them myself, is that I dropped 2 dress sizes. I don't wake up stiff in the morning anymore, and when you get my age, that's important.
Wow.
I when I train for my martial arts class, I don't get as tired, and I recover more quickly. So it's been a real blessing in my own health in life, and certainly in the people that I know who are also taking them, have found them to be very helpful for all kinds of things. It just supports overall health.
Mm.
It's not meant to replace medical treatment, of course, or medical advice, but as a supplement, it's essential. The soil these days is so depleted
Yeah, I've
of
read that actually.
nutrients.
Yeah, I read that in an article that all the minerals come from the soil, and if the soil is as awful as it is, that our crops aren't being grown in good soil
Well,
anymore.
that's exactly right. So
Yeah,
whether we're eating the plants directly or eating them via animals, there's no nutrition in the soil.
yeah, right.
To give you an example of what I'm talking about, an apple 50 years ago had, say, about 60 milligrams of calcium,
Mm.
which is good for nerves and bones and all kinds of things. Today, you would have to eat 10 to 15 apples to get the same effect.
Wow.
That's how depleted the soil is. In the U.S., it's something like 87%. In Europe, it is about 78%, and different things around the world. But it's a worldwide problem.
Mm.
If it's not in the soil, it's not going to be in us. And these minerals are taken from a place from ancient soil, prehistoric soil. In fact, it's actually from dinosaur material. And plants, when there's more oxygen in the air, there were more nutrients in the soil. And it's from this material, plant material, that coming up from the soil at this deep level, that is converted, and the minerals extracted and made into fizzy tablet form. So all you have to do is take 1 tablet a day and get all of the minerals you need for good health, for cell repair and growth.
Right. Sounds good.
Oh, it's lovely. It's fantastic. I love it. I mean, my brain was already working pretty quickly, but now it works like like a Ferrari. And I never needed a lot of sleep, but now I need even less. And like I said, my brain fires so much more quickly. It can assess things and think much more quickly than before. So, and it's because the body is getting what it needs to be able to function in the best way possible.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing. I'll actually pick some up then on the day, I think, because there's so much talk about vitamins, but minerals
Well,
are,
yeah, come by the stand,
yeah,
and we'll have a chat.
yeah.
I'll also be providing samples because it comes in 4 flavors:
Oh, great.
um, cherry berry, orange, lemon lime, and for children or people who may not want to have it with a flavor, natural. So you
Mm,
could add it to tea or something like that,
yeah.
and it won't change the taste. But yeah, it's very easy. I mean, I plunk one in a glass of water every morning,
Yeah.
um, and that's it. That's it for the day. And I have found that the reason why I've lost 2 dress sizes is because I eat less.
Mm,
My body isn't craving nutrients because I'm getting what I need. So I just naturally eat less. It's not like I'm making an effort. It's just I don't want it.
yeah.
I just want it. So I mean, it has, and I don't want to go into all the different testimonials, but even as for sports people, it's wonderful. As I said, it helps you to recover faster,
Yeah.
and it's even approved by the LGA, which looks at supplements and things like that for doping in international competition, and they approve it as a valid supplement.
Mm.
And the other thing is, do you like eating rocks?
No. I don't
Okay,
think my
but I
kids
tell
could
you
take
what,
it.
every time you go to and get an over-the-counter mineral supplement from Holland and Barrett or wherever it might be, you're actually ingesting ground up rocks with some chemicals added to fool the body into trying to digest it. At best, you get 20% absorption into the body.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's ground up rocks that you're having with that your body's being fooled into absorbing. And those are the metallic minerals. So metallic means metal, means ore, means rock.
Mm.
So, whereas with plant-based minerals like the sizzling minerals, the plants have done the digesting of the minerals for us.
Yeah, yeah.
So us and our pets as well, because they have a pet range, are it's pre-digested, and so the absorption rate 100%.
Nice.
100%. You
Oh,
get
that's really
all
good.
all of the mineral nutrients in it to be able to for the body to use. It's fully bioavailable as opposed
Yeah,
to at best 20%
yeah,
of metallic minerals.
yeah.
People don't realize that there is a real qualitative difference. And even vitamins can't be absorbed unless the minerals are there for the body vitamins to be broken down. They kind of work like a lock and key.
Mm.
So if you don't have the minerals or sufficient minerals or the right minerals in your body, then taking vitamins is also a waste of time.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things going on, but there are other products as well. I won't have them with me, but there's curcumin, which is like the miracle anti-inflammatory that as an aromatherapist, I've been using for years on my clients for inflammatory conditions, tumors, all kinds of things. But now it's become like the new the new hot ticket in terms of arthritis.
Yeah.
Because it is anti-inflammatory. So there's a curcumin, and that's the active ingredient in turmeric. In Ayurvedic medicine, they've been using it for thousands of years, so it's nothing new.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's coming to, old knowledge is finally being acknowledged as being valid, which is ridiculous, but there you go.
Sheila, tell me about you do a flower essence range as well, right?
Yes, I do. It's called Spirit of Makasutu Essences, and the bulk of them were made in West Africa, in Gambia, but some were also made in Jamaica and in Florida. So, and there's a few new ones that are kind of hovering around, but they're not ready to be made yet. They tell me when they're ready to be made. I don't tell them. But yes, they're preserved with a non-alcohol based preservative called red shiso, which is made from a Japanese mint plant. Oh. And I have used them to good effect on plants, people, all kinds of things, even my husband when he lets me. To wonderful effect. I felt very strongly about making an essences without an alcohol base because of alcoholism was a problem in my family. And I didn't feel right in making something to help people to give them emotional support that had alcohol in it. Yeah. And I eventually found this red shiso, and I find people find it relatively pleasant to taste, even moreish, some people have said, so, which is nice, which is kind of interesting. But I find that for myself and for others, it's a wonderful way to give emotional support to people, whether it be to going through difficult times, or they're at a crossroads in their life and want to know, get some direction as to which way to go next, or even teething babies. A little bit of orange essence on babies' gums when they're teething sends them from screams to smiles, literally in seconds. seconds. I mean, I kid you not. You know, animals too. I mean, and it's funny, the children, young children and animals get it like this. And the reason why, it's, well, what is it? How does it work? Why does it work? When is it working? When is it working? Which is what adults do. Mind, going constantly. And children and animals, they don't know what the placebo effect is. They just accept. And the change is literally instantaneous. So adults, of course, take a bit longer because, like I said, you know, their rational brain is trying to process it, and it's not a right brain exercise. I mean, a left brain exercise. It's a right brain exercise.
Yeah.
And tapping into our emotions, because just you know, I like to do a little experiment with people as a psychotherapist. It's like, I'm going to show you the connection between mind and body, because people are so disconnected now from their bodies. It's all up here. They're all up here all the time. And getting them to connect with their body is very simple. I tell people to close their eyes and imagine their favorite dessert or meal. And I mean, not just, you know, think about it, but, you know, feel the fork, picking up the fork and the food going down and how it tastes and the texture. And after food moments, I ask them how they feel. Their stomachs may be rumbling. They may be, you know, mouth might be watering a bit, you know, and they start to feel a bit hungry. And that's just to teach people that mind and body are linked. And it's a simple thing, but people really do forget. And essences are sovereign for helping us to join mind and body back together.
Yeah.
So that they're working as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's actually amazing that you do it in a non-alcohol base, because it's the first time I've heard of a flower essence in a non-alcohol base.
Oh,
so
there are
amazing.
around. I mean, mine is red shiso. There aren't too many of us producers that use red shiso. But I've been talking to my fellow ex-essence about red shiso, because they're also searching around for different things. But people use glycerin. Of course, people use alcohol. Some people use vinegar, plain vinegar. So I mean, there's different things around, but this resonated very well with me, and I find that it seems to resonate well with my clients as well.
So can I ask you? You mentioned that you can use it on plants. So how would you use it on plants, and what would you use it for?
Well, plants have a consciousness just like people do. I mean, they have a nervous system even. It's not as advanced as ours, but they do. Certain plants, when you touch them, you can see them react. They actually curl up and draw away. Yeah. So they have a nervous system. They have, if you will, emotions, if you will. Maybe not the way we do, but they feel things. So, you know, if there's an infestation of mites, like on my beautiful rose bushes outside, or my lilies that are starting to develop buds now. Simple thing. I use crabapple essence from the Batch Flower Remedies. In a solution, a few drops in a solution, and spray, because it's about cleansing.
Right.
If there's a plant, I transplant plants from one pot to another, whatnot. I may use, again, the Batch Flower Remedies. I may use walnut, because that helps them to kind of be true to themselves and to do their own thing without interference. So, I mean, you know, there's a logic to it in terms of, if the plant is looking unhealthy, then I give it something to like my coconut essence, which is about vitality and good health. So I mean, they do respond. Animals respond, plants respond. Like I said, I mean, everything will respond. I know a friend of mine. She even used essences to help heal a crystal ring that she had that had been cracked. So you know, the healing, and it belongs to everything and everyone. And it's about, I guess, in essence, our intent. If you intend for something to be a healing in nature, then it will be.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for giving me information on that. So you're not actually bringing the essences with you on the day, but people can come and talk to you about them,
Yes.
right?
What I will be doing is I will have a set of essence cards, my essence cards, and I have people as a kind of a spot check. And how are you feeling today? And they say, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And then I have them look at the cards and pick two, pick one they like and one that makes them feel a bit or they actively dislike.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, this is what your emotions, because they're not allowed to read anything just by sight or scanning with their hands and see which one kind of jumps out at them. And people are always blown away, absolutely blown away, because even when they say they're feeling fine, as if their cards may indicate something quite different. I wrote a whole dissertation about that for my master's degree. It was this 22-month-old little girl at a children's center near my home. And I was talking to the parents about flower essences, and I had the cards spread around, for people to kind of walk around and just pick up. And this little girl, she picked up a card and she marched over to her mother and handed it to her. And it was impatience. And the mother asked, well, what's this for then? And then I explained to her, it does what it says on the tin. It's literally, and I used a lot of that when I first started using flower essences. I'm like impatience personified. But it's actually to kind of slow people down, because they're too impatient. They get upset with people because everybody's just too slow.
Yeah.
And me being a New Yorker, that's me.
Yeah.
Minute to a T.
Yeah.
So, but it was funny, because was it the 2-year-old, nearly 2-year-old, entering into the terrible twos, that was the impatient one, or was it the mother running after the 2-year-old that was impatient? The card could have the essence could have served for either one. So that was my whole dissertation, and I looking at how a child, and even babies, will react. Young babies, they don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they will respond, either by drawing away, I don't want that, or they draw towards it.
Yeah.
So it's quite a Zen kind of thing. It's really quite wonderful to experience. I had a friend when I first started making essences. I was giving one day to a colleague of mine for her to test for me. But I had read that, but in another essence range, that they were it was prickly pear. It was good for animals that had been abandoned or had, different kind of emotional issues about
pear.
being left alone.
I'm just going to write that down, actually, because I've got a parrot who's having terrible problems.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my prickly pear essence. But I was at the time running a clinic in my local community for complementary therapies that lottery funded, that people could come to. And our yoga teacher had come in, and she had her very old dog with her. And the dog was just a nervous wreck. He was just and he was whining and upset because she was going in the studio to do yoga, and the dog had stayed out with us out in the kind of reception area. So I had this essence, and my girlfriend said, "Oh, well, let's give him some." So she's just dumped some on his muzzle and his paws, and he kind of, what the hell is that? Wiped it off, sneezed once, then flopped down, went to sleep until his human companion came back from teaching yoga and took him home. But the whole time he was just literally shaking like a leaf. He's got this on him. On his muzzle, he licked some of it off, wiped his, face with his paws, and then flopped down, went to sleep. And it took me longer to tell you the story than it did
for it to happen. Wow, amazing!
People were sitting there waiting for their turn to have treatment, and they were just like, "Wow, what the hell did you give him?" So and that's what I mean when I say animals. They get it right away. There's no hesitation and no analyzing. They just get it. So it's a wonderful thing. Like I said, to use around the house. I used them. I was making kind of bespoke Christmas gifts and things like my shower gels or hand creams or what have you for people. And my friends would give me like the names and a little bit of information about the people that they would wanted the gift for, and I would intuit from that what it is, and add essences to the shower gels and whatnot, as well as aromatherapy oils. And I always got the reply, "Oh, it was just what I needed. I can't believe it's like really wonderful." So it's working with practical knowledge and training, but it for me, I've always been an intuitive, so it's using those skills, putting those skills together to be able to help people to move forward in their healing.
Oh, that's great. So you're actually bringing quite a variety to the event then, really, aren't you?
Well, yeah, there's a few things going on, but I mean, those are the two things. The main thing is the minerals. I mean,
Mm,
because that is my principal business as an independent distributor.
yeah.
But I know as a therapist of over 20 years experience that health and well-being you got to look at the whole package.
Yeah.
You can't just look at the body, can't just look at the mind. You've got to, you can't look at the spirit. But if you address the more spiritual aspects, it's like it's at the top of the pyramid, so
Yeah.
it really flows down to the rest.
Yeah.
And it's about my mission, I feel, is to help people to understand that connection and to really not reconnect, but understand that we're not bodies walking around with souls. We're souls walking around in bodies, and that's a very important difference.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sheila. Thank you for joining me today.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you on the day.
Yeah, we'd like to actually meet you in the flesh.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thank you then. Bye.
Welcome. Bye bye now.